The screeching sound of steel echoed with chilling scrapes and clangs. Men grunted and bellowed. Someone shrieked in pain. Eva opened her eyes. Metal flashed. Panic shot through her veins. Her heartbeat raced, as if in the midst of a nightmare. Jerking up, her head struck something hard. A wooden bench. Where am I? Eva blinked, her mind racing. She clapped her hand to her throbbing head. I was on the ground, but this floor is stone. The bench above her scraped and teetered. Eva jolted, clutching her fists to her chest. Unable to breathe, she stared into the eyes of a madman, brandishing a gory sword dripping with blood. Please, don't kill me, she cried, frozen in place, heart hammering. He sauntered forward, chuckling with a black-toothed grin. Wearing a red surcoat with 3 rampant lions embroidered on his chest, he looked like something out of a historical reenactment, but way more realistic. Smelled like a sewer, too. Trying to gain her bearings, Eva scooted from his disgusting pall and wedged herself under the bench. You're scaring me. You miserable Scot, speak nary a bit of sense. With an evil sneer, the man jerked his sword over his head. Her heart nearly bursting from her chest, Eva fled on hands and knees. The bench caught on her back and scraped the floor. The sword hissed. From the corner of her eye, the blade glistened, just like in her dreams. But Eva didn't recall the sound before. Gasping, she dropped to her stomach and rolled away from the weapon's arc. God, this was the worst nightmare she'd had yet. The lunatic smashed his sword into Eva's bench. Splinters of wood shot through the air. Screaming, she sprang to her feet and ran. Everywhere she looked, men in red surcoats fought monks dressed in white. Blood splattered everywhere. Stay alive! She dashed for an altar below a bronze cross. Diving beneath, she crouched into a ball, praying the maniac would find something else to destroy with his bloody sword. With a whooshing boom, the door burst from its hinges and clattered to the floor. Lips trembling, Eva peered out from beneath the table vestments. An enormous behemoth of a man barreled into the sanctuary, baring his teeth, swinging a 2-handed sword. A mob of bellowing warriors raced in behind him. Each man armed with medieval swords and battle-axes, they charged into the thick of the fight. With a resounding thud, the altar tottered. Eva shrieked. The murderous freak from the pew cackled with a deranged laugh. She scooted against the wall, clutching her arms tight to her shaking body. Go fight with the other wackos! I'm not a part of your reenactment! I'll skewer your liver, you mongrel dog! The man sliced his weapon beneath the table. Eva screamed as the blade skimmed inches from her face. Get the fuck away from me! She shouted. I'm terrified of sharp objects. Take it away, now! The lunatic roared, trying to shove the altar over. The sturdy table tottered, then rocked back into place. Eva forced her body flush against the wall. Jesus Christ, I am not playing your game! Something whizzed through the air. The smelly creep dropped to the floor, his throat cut, his eyes stunned. Blood oozed over the flagstone, spreading rapidly. The metallic stench of blood mixed with dirt. Eva crouched on her toes, clenching her fists so tightly her fingernails dug into her palms. Holy shit! Wake up, Eva! The cloth lifted and the enormous man from the door peered at her. Christ, his dark eyes bore through her with the intensity of a devil. We kill it all the English, lad. Least those who didna took Dal and flee. Eva couldn't move. What the hell did he say? She pointed a shaking finger at the dead man. You murdered him, she whispered. Aye, before the bastard could run you through. Eva pushed her back against the stone wall and stared. Something clicked in her head. He's speaking in old Scots. Then her gaze dropped to the corpse. The only time she'd ever seen a dead man was at the morgue when she'd identified Steve's body. God, stop freaking me out.